Leonardo DiCaprio uses them. A lot of MPs use them. So do 1.3 million people in the UK, allegedly. They're supposed to be an aid to quitting smoking, but now the EU is trying to regulate the sale of electronic cigarettes by classifying them as medicines. In a moment, we'll debate the pros and cons of so-called vaping. But first, let's remind ourselves of Laurie Penny's appearance on the Daily Politics last year, e-cigarette in hand. Can I just point out to viewers that this...
I was talking about the Labour Party. You want to talk about my electric cigarette? Yeah, but we're getting lots of people tweeting in. This is not a real cigarette. In case any of you are now calling the police or health and safety, it's a fake cigarette, right? It's an electric cigarette. It's an electric cigarette. It's the future. They're cool. It's the future. I'm on a one-person mission. I just wanted to point that out. I'm not sponsored. What's your position on this? I'm afraid I'm on exactly the same page as Danny and Zach. Don't be afraid. We're quite happy that you are. You can say what you want. I hate to agree with Tories on anything, obviously, but... You hate to agree with who? But no, but I think it's absolutely... It might not be a real cigarette, but it ain't doing you any good. I know, it's good. I've just swallowed something wrong. What's the chance of getting this changed? Oh, it's me. Right. Joining me now, Chair of the All-Party Parliamentary Group on Smoking and Health, Stephen Williams, and Director of Small Business Selling Electronic Cigarettes, Amish Badiani. Yep. Welcome to the... Amish, why do people smoke these cigarettes? Well, I think it's a massive development in technology, and there's a lot of stigma associated with smoking traditional tobacco cigarettes, and it causes 5 million deaths a year worldwide. So there's a lot of people who try the traditional chewing tobacco or, chewing gums, medicinal sprays and things like that, and they just don't find that it does the trick. So electronic cigarettes bring a different type of cessation to smoking. And can I just clarify in my own mind, do people smoke these cigarettes to get off smoking the traditional cigarettes, or as an alternative to the traditional? Well, yeah, there's two sides to this coin, and we tout our cigarettes as an alternative to smoking. We don't say that this will help you quit smoking, because we don't believe that it will, and we think that it's an alternative to smoking. To it. And, if it does. And in your view, are there health consequences from this? I don't believe so. There's been none proven. What's your view?
I think potentially that they're a good thing if they do help people wean themselves off the real thing that is really quite damaging. We know that tobacco, if it's consumed in the way the manufacturer intended, is the only consumer product that will shorten your lifespan, so it's quite extraordinary. So anything that helps people quit, I think, should be welcomed. But he's selling them as an alternative, not as a quit. And that's sort of where I start to get worried, because the tobacco companies are busily buying up all the manufacturers of these products, and they're only doing that because they think it's in their interests. And I suspect what they want to do is to re-normalise the appearance of smoking. For instance, my local station, Bristol Temple Meads, last week when I got home from Westminster, I saw a big advert of someone, and superficially it looked as though they were smoking. In fact, it was an electronic cigarette. Now, we have a ban on advertising of tobacco, but at the moment there's no controls over the advertising of these products. So that's what I'm concerned about. You can smoke them indoors, it's legal? Correct, yeah. That as well, yeah. We can. So there's no damage odorless from the smoke to passive smokers? No, none proven so far. Would you object to them being reclassified as a medicinal product? Yes, we would, because as we mentioned, our products are an alternative to smoking, largely regarded as safer, but we don't believe that, we don't make any claims that these products will help you quit smoking. And the majority of our customers at the moment don't feel that way. Do you think there are any health dangers to these cigarettes? Well, that's where they need to be looked at. And our own NICE, that looks at all medicines, has been having a review of all nicotine replacement products, which is how essentially these products started, to see whether, for instance, they could be prescribed by GPs. People have Nicorette patches and all the other things that ex-smokers will be familiar with. Or you would only get them by prescription? Sorry? You would only get them by prescription? I'm not sure I would go that far, but there does definitely need to be more regulation about them. These are something that I think none of us had really heard of just two years ago. So it's a completely new thing. I certainly think the advertising needs to be regulated so the cigarette companies can't circumvent the laws that we've carefully put in place over the last 20 years. I wouldn't want them to sort of get a backdoor way of renormalising the appearance of smoking, or, for instance, targeting at children. At the moment, these products can be advertised in young people's magazines, whereas cigarettes can't. Fancy an e-cigarette, Margaret? No. And the reason I say that is I was... Just as well, because I haven't got one. I was a cigarette smoker. I was a cigarette smoker. I mean, I gave up
oh God, over 30 years ago.
Wow.
And I still think of myself as an addict. And my worry would be just that you know, you back to the feel of having some sort of cigarette would entice me back to the
It can be
tobacco.
confusing for people too. I've seen people in a restaurant go and complain because they think somebody's smoking, and it turns out it's one of these vaping.
Why are you
things.
worried that it should be classified as a medicine?
Well,
What's the worry?
We just
that
think,
seems to me sensible.
for us in particular, and small manufacturers and brands such as ourselves, we think that over-regulation would make it difficult for us to actually obtain a licence, and it would essentially price us out of the market. The other side of things is that the price of electronic cigarettes, getting the licence, would be passed on to the consumers, therefore making them more expensive. Currently, they're about 75%, approximately 75% cheaper than traditional tobacco cigarettes.
Oh, they are.
That makes them
cheaper.
more attractive,
All right.
I suppose. Yes.
Okay, and you smoke them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
And you're feeling all right?
Absolutely fine.
You look all right. There we go. Have you tried it?
I haven't. I have seen other MPs on the terrace, some friends of mine who've gone on to smoking these things, and you know, that's good. I'd rather they did that than smoke the real thing.
I'm not trying it. Are you trying it?
I don't think we'll have them in the studio.
No, I'm not trying it. Anyway, gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.